woke up this morning at 8. I'm not sure. I usually wake up at 8 a.m. every morning with my alarm because I've got classes and I need to start getting ready. Well, this morning my class got canceled, so I was able to sleep in. And I was like, great, that's going to be amazing. I'm so excited to sleep in. Very bad idea. Sleeping in is amazing, right? But sleeping in and not having a routine in the morning is so hard for me. And I forgot about that very important fact of my life, is that I need a routine. Not always, but I do need a routine. And I woke up and I did not feel good. So that was fun. My life feels like a mess. My room is a disaster. I have so much to clean. I feel so stressed even though I have like nothing to do right now. And I'm just not feeling it. And I'd rather frantically clean my room right now and complain like I am and just maybe sleep. But here I am, for some reason, recording this episode. And I mean, this is kind of how this podcast has started, so I might as well just keep it going this way. As I'm doing this podcast episode, or as I'm just building this podcast all together, I have found a lot of pressure to prove myself. And not just with the podcast, but with my brand in general. I feel like there's a lot of pressure to be perfect, to have everything set up perfectly, to have the perfect equipment. And honestly, that's just not feasible, mentally or physically. I am a college student. I can't get the perfect microphone. I can't pay for the perfect web designer. So I have to do a lot of it on my own. And mentally, I'm a full-time college student. I'm working. I need to give myself breaks. And I'm also trying to build a business on the side to maybe take it off someday and be able to make that my full-time income. It's a lot, you guys. It's a lot. This week is one of the first weeks where I don't have a million things to do, and somehow I feel more stressed because I know that I should be giving myself breaks, but having time to think allows me to think about how stressed I am and how much stuff I should be working on right now. It's wild. So I guess what I'm here to talk about today is the fact that it's okay to take breaks and you don't need to prove yourself. I started this brand, this podcast, my website, all of it because it was my passion. I started it because I knew that I wanted to have some sort of platform and I wanted to change lives. And I am in love with it. It's so much fun and it's incredible. But that doesn't mean that there's hard moments too. I am constantly seeing all of the posts on Instagram or the articles or everything that say, here's the secret you need to grow your Instagram following. Here's the secret you need to get your email list up. Here's the one thing that you're missing in order to build your brand. And guess what? None of them work. I mean, okay, yeah, some of them have helped, but there is no one secret to doing something. If anything, I guess the one secret would be following yourself, following your passion. Whatever you're trying to do right now, whatever your goal is, you are the center of that. Not some other person who claims that they know everything about that topic, because maybe they are knowledgeable on it, but in the end, you're the one who's going through this specific journey for yourself. Your journey is specific to you. So why listen to someone else who claims that they know it better than you do? Yeah, you might feel lost. Yeah, I feel so lost in this growing my brand. I don't know where to start. Some days I feel like it's going great, and other days I feel like nothing is working. at all. But that's okay. That's part of being human. I feel like I say that so much in this podcast. Maybe I should change the title to just what it means to be human or something. But no, I mean, it is part of what it is to be human. And I think that's really powerful. So when you're working on building your journey, make sure to keep it unique to you. You are the center of it. And with that, in order to actually keep yourself staying true to yourself, and actually, in order to actually stay true to yourself, you have to learn who you are. And that, to me, is the core of everything that we do, every goal that we have, that a lot of times we miss, is that you are the center of it. So how can you build something that you're passionate about? How can you even just learn to love yourself if you don't take time to get to know yourself? Think about that for a moment. It's so powerful. And in the way that we do things these days, it's looked over so often. Like we don't pay attention to it. I remember the moment that I learned that I needed to take care of myself and that I was the foundation. I mean, it's a life changer. I was trying to grow my brand. I was thinking about growing it. I hadn't started yet. And I was seeing all of these articles, all of these things about the perfect way to do it, everything you need. Even just like articles saying, here's the secret you need to be happy. Like, being happy is different for everyone. Yeah, there are ways to help, but a lot of them didn't even talk about the fact that you need to focus on yourself first, which was wild to me. And that's when I realized, I looked back in my life and I was thinking, okay, when are the times that I've felt the most alive? When are the times that I felt most me? And I realized it was when I was really paying attention to myself, when I really felt like I knew myself. As you might know, I might have to do an entire podcast episode on this just because I feel like I haven't explained it well. But as you might know, when I was 15, I got an autoimmune disorder that started attacking my brain. I was basically psychotic for a year, and I explained it to people as feeling as if I had my body, but I didn't have me. Like there was some monster inside my body taking over me. It had felt like I had lost myself, and I wanted myself back. And it was in moments where I had just recovered from that illness and I found myself again that I felt the most alive. Because especially right after I started recovering, people used to ask me all the time, why are you so happy? Why are you so confident? And my simple answer was, because I'm me. It felt like the most simple answer, but it was so powerful and something that we have such a hard time living out in our everyday lives. But I had spent a year in feeling like I didn't know who I was anymore, feeling like I'd lost the person that I was. So when I was feeling normal again, when I was recovered, when I was able to function again, that was the greatest gift, was having myself back. And after that, I was like, why would I ever be so hard on myself? When the hardest moment in my life was when I didn't have myself. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm still so hard on myself now. I went through all of that, and I'm still really hard on myself. But that's okay. It's hard, but it's okay, because it's normal. But giving myself moments to kind of give myself a break, to refocus that, to change my mindset, has been so important. So as I've recovered and as I've continued to kind of follow my passion, follow my dreams, I've tried to keep that the center of everything. I am still so hard on myself. I can say that with 100% confidence. I know that I'm mean to myself sometimes, and that's not okay, and it's not fun, but I think it's a part of just life. But I work on it. I I've started making it a priority to work on myself, to understand myself, and to thank myself for being me, honestly. I've had a few times where I'd be talking to a friend or even just someone that I just met, and the way that they talk or the way that they make me feel is just so incredible, because they just make my energy happy, if that makes sense at all. And, at the end of the conversation, sometimes I say, hey, thank you for being you. And I'm always curious what people respond to that, because sometimes people respond and say, hey, thank you. Like, of course, I'm glad to be me. And sometimes people kind of seem shocked and they don't know what to say, or sometimes people even put it off. And that's so powerful to me. It's so interesting to me, because where in our lifetimes did we learn that we didn't deserve compliments? Where in our lifetimes did we learn that we didn't deserve to take care of ourselves? Like, I know when I was younger, I spent a lot of time looking in the mirror and just dancing with myself. My mom has videos of me dancing in the mirror, or even just looking at myself in the video camera. And yeah, maybe it seemed like I was self-centered, but that's just like, it's good. It's self-love. And I don't know when that changed. I'm really trying to figure out when that changed. When did we stop giving ourselves love and start putting pressure on ourselves? When did the pressure to prove start? That's my big question, and I don't think I'll ever know the answer to it. But as I'm continuing in this journey of life, I'm trying my best to stop putting that pressure on me. I don't need to prove anything. I just need to give myself love and grace and peace. Because, and this is so hard for me to say, honestly, right here. I'm about to put this on a podcast episode for people to hear. But I'm giving myself grace because I love the person that I am, because I deserve it, and because I am proud of who I am. I'm laughing because I'm uncomfortable, okay? I laugh when I'm uncomfortable. It's hard to say, honestly. It's really hard to say that. It's really hard to say that you're proud of the person you are. And it makes me so uncomfortable, but it's so powerful, because I've done that with my own inner work on trying to take care of myself and love myself. But I don't think I've ever really said that out loud before, said that and shared that with people before. But I love the person that I am, and I'm so grateful for who I am. And I want you to do that right now. Like, if you're listening to that right now, say that out loud. Or if you're in public, say it out loud too. Go for it. Just say, hey, I love myself. I am amazing, and I deserve amazing things. It feels so uncomfortable, I know, but do it. Because we're empowering each other here. We're done with the negativity. We're done with the comparison. We're done with the go, go, go mindset that we have to be perfect. We have to be on the top, and we have to achieve everything and make everyone proud. We're not living for other people anymore. We're living for ourselves. So I want you to do that right now. As we tie this episode off, give yourself love. Tell yourself out loud how proud you are of the person that you are. Write down a gratitude list. Write down all of the things about yourself that you love. Get uncomfortable, because that's a first step to learning how to not feel the pressure to prove anymore, is to get uncomfortable and step out of your comfort zone. So I think I'll leave it at that. The rest is really an inner journey, And as we continue with this podcast, we will continue finding ways to really stay true to ourselves. But for today, this is it. This is a little bit longer than the rest of the episodes that I've had so far. I try to keep them pretty short because if you're anything like me, I cannot sit down and listen to a 45-minute podcast episode. I admire people who can, and I admire people who can make podcast episodes that long, but I personally just cannot do that. And so here we are, 16 minutes. Well, when I'm recording it, it says 16 minutes. It'll probably be a little bit less than that. So here we are. As we wrap this off, though, I just want to remind you all that you are incredible human beings. You deserve love. You deserve to be happy. And we're going through this together. We're having these conversations together. We're getting uncomfortable